Excuse me, we'd like you to have this flower.
Excuse me, sir, would you...
Donation to the Reverend Moon?
Jews for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Help Jerry's kids?
You should change it to, how about bullism?
Or nuclear power?
I can record it.
I don't know why we always get a rolling open too, but okay. I guess because we're on stage.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Where is Tox right now?
I don't know. He's probably jerking off.
With his family for the holiday, I think.
No, he said he was going to be on tonight when I talked to him earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just got to rub one out real fast.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. When you gotta pull, you gotta pull.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you hear about Harry Sisson?
No, what happened?
So, you know, he posted that whole thing about how, like, God, what did he say in particular? Hang on, let me think. Hang on.
I don't even
He
remember.
said, like, basically, he looked at the whole thing, like that about. Why can't I think right now? Where did my brain go?
The SEAL Team 6 comment or a different
Yeah,
one?
that's it. Yeah, the SEAL Team 6 comment.
Okay.
Basically, the Biden sent SEAL Team 6 after his opponents, and then Trump's campaign manager was like, there's some people that like to have some words with Hillary.
Well, now they're saying, like, well, this is going from Trump, like one of Trump's campaign guys. He's like, you misunderstand what we were telling you. Secret Service is probably now going to visit your home, and they're going to take away your ability to hang out with any presidential campaign, or like any presidential person right now, like anybody.
Wow.
Because of your comment. You were going to be labeled too dangerous during this.
Do you have it? Is there like a Twitter link or something?
I'm trying to find.
All right, we'll pull that up. We'll talk about that.
Can you do the volume slider on the music a little? They're saying it's loud.
I was like a little over halfway. That's interesting.
I think Comics likes rocking out.
I do. There's so much more I can add to this, especially after the debate.
Dropping the link in the comments.
All right. Oh, that's right. This idiot. Hello, and welcome to Thursday. Oh my God, a lot has changed in a week, hasn't it, guys? I'm just gonna jump right into it and bring everybody in because we got a lot to cover, and unfortunately, we don't have Brandon for a whole lot of time. Yeah, let's talk about this Harry Sisson thing first. Yeah, it's funny because I always forget who this person is, and it's like, oh yeah, now I remember.
The little bitch version of Brooklyn Dad.
Yeah,
Brooklyn
yeah,
Dad's
yeah,
a little bitch.
that's a good way to put it,
but
actually.
a little bitch version. Yeah, that is pretty accurate.
Campaign manager just...
Hang on, let me start it all the way over. Look who decided to show up. All right. Now I can do this.
Donald Trump's campaign manager just threatened me on social media. I'm not joking.
Hey Harry, Trump campaign here. Look, I know you've got to be smarter than this. So what you're trying to imply here is that Chris gave a threat towards you, when in fact we all know what Chris meant by that, and what is going to happen is within the next 72 hours of you making that ridiculous emotional tweet, you will have a visit from the U.S. Secret Service. Now you may think that's no big deal, and you're not going to be charged with anything more than likely. However, allow me to explain to you what you can expect next. You see, when I'm asked, I always describe the U.S. Secret Service as being the most powerful entity within the U.S. government. Now, they are absolutely tasked with some of the hardest work of any individual in the government. And they will absolutely protect whomever their protectee is, despite their own political beliefs, their bias, or anything else that may come in and interfere with that. You may not think anything is wrong with that tweet because you're likely not going to be charged, right? But you're going to end up on a list. And what that list is going to do is absolutely prevent you from ever visiting your friend Joe Biden again, whether he is in office or post-presidency. It's going to keep you from entering any federal building in Washington, D.C. or anywhere else in this country where an elected official is at the time of your visit. TSA pre-check, regular TSA check, expedited passport, expedited re-entry, global entry. All of that, my friends, you're going to have a little bit of an issue with it. So you can essentially kiss your activist career goodbye. Because even if the Democrats love you and they want you, you're not going to be allowed around any of them. And to stop and think that you made all of this happen because you were unable to contain your emotions, you went on Twitter and you made a tweet that implied or incited violence against the former president of the United States. You did all of this without even making any sense, because the ruling by the Supreme Court doesn't even define what is within the scope of official duties. The Supreme Court themselves even said that needs to be defined by the lower courts. So what you stated here is absolutely asinine, but yet you couldn't hold your emotions. You had to run to Twitter, you had to run your mouth, and you had to lose all control just for a couple of clicks and views. So good luck, my friend. Kiss your career goodbye. If you ever want a career in politics, it's not going to happen. Quite frankly, I think the rest of us, at least on this side of Capitol Hill, we're happy for you.
Wow.
Harry Sisson just screwed himself over because of a stupid tweet. And what's funny about it is, like, he bought the same line that every ridiculous leftist did. You know, that stupid dissent from Sotomayor, which, by the way, I'm sorry. You would think that a Supreme Court judge would be able to understand the rules and laws of what a president can and can't do, and what the ruling actually meant, which makes me think that Sotomayor wrote that. She didn't write that. Excuse me. She didn't write that. Someone wrote that for her. Someone wrote that for her so that they could use that as red meat for the media to chomp on and start generating a narrative about how dangerous it would be for Trump to be in the White House, because if he is put there, he's going to be King Trump at this point. He can kill whoever he wants to. That's a blatant lie. So why would Sotomayor say that? You know,
because she had to dumb it down she had to dumb it down to the level of Teen Vogue writing so that they could understand it.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is, because they all know this is BS, right? Because if it was if that was actually the case where they could go and take out their political opposition, they would have done it already at this point.
Yep.
Right.
It's fear mongering. It's trying to basically get people to the polls to vote against Trump is what it is. That's all it is. It's fear mongering.
Absolutely.
For fear mongering for low information voters, right? People who don't pay attention to what's going on. All this says is that as president, the president might do things that could be viewed as not good, like Obama drone striking American citizens in a foreign country that were labeled as foreign opposition, and not be brought up on charges, right? Official duties. Official duties is the key word, right? This doesn't mean, because they want to pretend like at this point Trump can walk down the street with a gun and just randomly start shooting people and claim that it is official presidential duty, which it's not.
Or it's official action.
Yeah. And it's such garbage. But like I said, it's spin. Like I said, it's throwing red meat to their base, saying, This is two things. It's desperation to try to get people to not vote for Trump again, but also it's distraction. It's distraction from the fact that Joe Biden fell flat on his face during the debate. The fact that he's basically weakened at Bernie's. I mean, that's the best way of putting it.
Brandon, he's fallen flat on his face like 60 times in the last 7 weeks. So, I mean, what else did we expect was going to happen here? So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Maybe Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote that for Sotomayor. Maybe it was like, here, kid, do my homework.
Yeah, she has been writing some stuff too lately. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But did she actually side with the conservative justices, though?
On another decision. Last week, she sided, and then Amy Coney Barrett went over to the liberal side. They
Trojan horse, Amy Coney Barrett. The worst appointment until Ketanji Brown Simpson.
It was the Chevron decision that she went over.
Yeah.
That they
right, because she is 100% a collectivist. That is all at Amy Coney Barrett.
No, I think she was talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Oh, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She was just told. So that one, she was told how to vote. On that. Yeah.
About the Chevron thing? No, I don't. I doubt that.
Oh, you cannot tell me that justice, the last one that's been appointed, knows anything about law. She doesn't. She's being told what to put in her.
Why would she side with the conservatives then? That doesn't make any sense.
Yes. You answered your own question. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm saying what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
No. Ketanji Brown Simpson sitting back there and goes, I'm going to play 4D chess. Watch me. Everyone's going to think I'm smart. And I'm going to go, what? Oh, yes, Justice Thomas. I'm going to do what he said. Yeah.
Well, they actually made the immunity, though, more complex, and they did send it to the lower court to define what's official and unofficial, which kind of makes it harder on Trump to get back to the Supreme Court because the sentencing is in September.
Yeah, that's another byproduct of what happened is that they were going to have the sentencing before
the election.
It was before the election, or was it before the
Republican convention?
Republican
or that's
convention.
it, before the convention, yeah.
Yeah, it was going to be July 11th.
Yeah. Now it's going to be after November.
Now it's going to be after, well, it's going to be after September. I don't think it's going to be after.
It's going to be September, but he can't
I thought they pushed
appeal
it
it.
past the election.
Well, the goal is to get the appeal not to go to Supreme Court before the election, is what they're plotting now. After they Trump appealed it on July 1st, or to throw it out based on immunity.
Yeah,
I see.
And they said they needed time to look at it, blah, 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 which means that's the people, Wiseman and all them, So they put their little plan together and said, oh, the sentencing is now, not August, because initially they thought it'd be August. No, it's September. So his appeals to get back to the Supreme Court would be after the election.
Yeah. Another thing, too, that the presidential immunity helps with is when he had the classified documents, right? And
yes,
that whole thing was fucking staged too by the FBI.
Yeah,
where they printed out cover sheets to, take pictures. And I love how they defend that. It's like, well, we're not going to take real pictures of classified documents. Okay, so you faked it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's this lawfare nonsense is fucking old. It needs to stop.
It's all they got right now.
But yeah, it is all they have. And
like, what do you do when you're? I've been saying this for a minute now. It's like the Democrats are 100% a wounded animal. They're bleeding out.
Yeah,
and they have nothing at this moment in time to help them as far as their record goes. So they have to lash out with whatever they've got, and this is all they've got. This is it, and it's not working for them. And in fact, it's backfiring on them. The whole reason that Trump is now pulled out in front of Biden in terms of fundraising by like millions of dollars is because the moment that guilty verdict came down in New York, people were just donating millions of dollars towards Trump. And meanwhile, they're stalling. The Democrats are stalling in terms of their rise in funds. So I don't know, man. They're fucked. They're so fucked.
Yeah, big time. Fucked.
Well, that
Capital
$200
PH.
million. I mean, it can't all transfer to Harris, from what I understand, because it would be a totally different fund altogether with the election laws. You can't just transfer.
That's why they have to have the top 30 or 40 donors get on board with anything they're going to do before they can remove them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to need brand new donations.
And that's
those donors are already asking for refunds.
Yes.
Wow.
Their top 40 donors were already talking about that.
Yep.
Wow.
And it was during the same conversation where they were like, "Hey, we might have to do, go with Kamala Harris," and they were like, "Yeah, no. Can I get my money back?
Can we get our money back, please?"
No.
And that's why
money back if they went with Kamala Harris, or money back because Joe sucks balls.
Both.
Yes.
Okay.
After the debate, they started asking, and when they suggested Kamala, they started demanding, I think.
Wow. Yeah,
it's going to be Donald Trump versus Moab.
All right, let's take a look at this.
Hey everyone, I got some news on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on Monday. The information I have is pretty reliable. Sure enough, the Biden people are putting out there and leaking that he's considering not running for president, stepping aside from the campaign. But given the reasons for him having to do that, his cognitive fitness, it stands to the reason he's going to have to leave the presidency as well. So we'll see what happens, but in the meantime, we should be asking tough questions of Vice President Harris and his cabinet about what they knew and when, about what everyone now knows is his remarkable cognitive challenges that it looks like to many Americans make him unfit to be president of the United States.
Oh,
hey everyone, I got some...
But that's a bunch of cheap fakes.
So what that tells us is, while he was up at Camp David having his family meeting on whether he was going to continue to run, and then came out and said, yeah, they can't get rid of me, they were all telling him, we're going to 25th you if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they can get rid of him realistically. And I think that would then make it, since she would then be president, I think that would make it where those campaign dollars can more easily transfer to her because she is part of the current campaign. And she would now be the top of that ticket.
Yeah. I'm okay. This is something that Tim Pool's been saying, and I'm kind of curious to see what you guys' thoughts on this. So Tim's been saying that they're going to skip Kamala and have Gavin Newsom run. And the way they're going to do that is that they're going to have a medical episode. From
kind of like the movie Dave.
Yeah, I'd never seen the movie Dave, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, the president, while having sex with a cheating on his wife, dies, and they bring in someone who looks just like him, and he ends up everybody likes him, and he ends up balancing the budget and doing all this other kind of stuff. So
okay, all right,
yeah,
but no,
I think Klein. Yeah.
I think they're going to have like a medical episode where Joe can't run. He will either be 25th, like you said, Brandon, or he steps aside of his own accord because of whatever. Kamala will step in and be acting president, and she'll be like, "Oh no, I'm not going to run because I want to focus on keeping the country together for the next 4 months to the election," and she'll be given a really nice position if they win. Tim has thrown around that Supreme Court justice if somebody steps down. And then Gavin Newsom steps in to be the president or presidential pick for the Democrats. So
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
That's as far-fetched as as Trump trying to send the separate slate of electors and it actually working.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny.
The last few rhinos are gonna retire, right?
They don't.
So
want
the
her.
Democrats are going to have a majority in the House. It's going to go to January 6th. They're going to refuse to certify the election because Donald Trump sends a threat to society. And then 3 or 4 months later, Hakeem Jeffries is going to be president of the United States.
I don't think they're going to keep Congress at all. There's no coattails. Nobody is excited to vote for Joe Biden, and they're not going to go vote in the down votes.
That Harry Sissons guy was.
Yeah, well,
he's getting paid to
retards
say
on
those
Twitter.
So are those Cranston scenes, whatever. Those guys are shorter than comics.
Oh God, those guys are idiots.
Yeah,
they're nuts. Well, most of these people are. I mean, you can sit back now and tell who the paid shills are.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why KJP has been press secretary for as long as she has.
Mm-hmm.
It's because no one else wants the job.
Yeah, she's that dim-witted that she can handle the job. So.
Well, and she's intersectionally safe.
Yes, she checks her
exactly.
They've tried, and she basically said, "Screw you! I'm lesbian and I'm black. What are you gonna do?"
I would
fire her.
I mean, that's what normal people would do, but not if you're dealing with intersectional leftists.
Yeah, not a. She's a DEI hire. You know, just like Kamala Harris is actually. So
well, I mean, the funny thing too is that a lot of the time I do feel that DEI hire gets overused, but those two instances I don't think that's the case.
But it's true. I mean, if you actually look at the way that Kamala Harris got hired, it was
no. I mean, I'm agreeing. I think she absolutely was a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Same with Karine Jean-Pierre. I mean, it's unfortunate, but
I actually feel bad for I feel a little bad for JP because I mean, like, if you really look at what she has to do, she has to basically look at you in the face and say what you just saw isn't what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know.
Well, the funny thing. Okay, so unfortunately, I fucked up, so I can't hide the chat. So I'm going to read Pinochet's comments. He says Tim is joking comics. He's picking the most absurd outcome. Hello, have you seen 2024? I mean, have you been living a current year when the most absurd outcome turns out to be real?
I mean, behind the scenes, they say he's campaigning for himself, and so is Gretchen
Whitmer.
Yeah, really hard. I mean,
Gretchen Whitmer, probably stands the most chance of actually exciting the base, but even then, I mean, like, the way that she treated her people during the pandemic it was awful. She made it illegal to buy seeds, y'all. Seeds.
I know that was so fucking.
And you couldn't mow
insane.
your yard either. They couldn't mow
Ridiculous. Well, imagine where we would be today if Joe had gone with the last woman who was in the primary last go around. We would have had Tulsi Gabbard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that would have been a world of difference compared to what we're dealing with now.
Well, I think if they actually did get Tulsi Gabbard as his VP, I would have suspected within the first year or 2 years, Joe would have been 25th out.
Definitely.
Probably, yeah.
And they'd be in a better position for it.
Yeah.
But they had to go with DEI hire.
Here's my own little Tim Pool scenario. All right. They say, all right, Joe, you're out. Sorry. Kamala Harris is in. Clearly, you know, you're just not him. Kamala Harris steps up and Trump says, all right, cool. Tulsi Gabbard is my VP. Now, I don't have time to argue with Kamala Harris. Okay. She's Kamala Harris. I'm Donald Trump. Okay. But she's more than welcome to argue again with Tulsi Gabbard. She can go on stage and have a debate with Tulsi again.
I think that would be fucking amazing.
I would. Oh my god! I would sell tickets to it.
I was gonna say I'd pay money to see that fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, but isn't there like already a rumor that he picked Flynn?
That's fake.
That's fake. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I've heard JD Vance. I've heard Tim
Vance
Scott.
and Vivek are the top runners, I believe.
Well, there's one
already
thing
told one of them.
Oh, okay.
Somebody already knows that they're the pick.
Oh, okay. The one thing I think is funny is there's a lot of people have been pointing this out. It's like, have you ever noticed that ever since the debate, Trump has been radio silent?
Let the performance speak for itself.
Well, not only that, it's I think there might be a little Sun Tzu action going on. Maybe not intentional, who knows? But it's like, don't interrupt your enemy while they're making a huge mistake.
Exactly.
Which is happening right now.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, I mean, like the worst thing that he could possibly do right now is to give them red meat to chew on. You know.
Yep.
Let them just fight amongst themselves, and they are fighting amongst.
Oh my
themselves.
God!
You know?
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
Game of Thrones level stuff going on right now in the background.
yeah, this is Trump right now holding a big old box of popcorn. Yep. Microphone's in the way.
Getting a few
And he's like
hot
this.
tuas.
He's basically watching this whole thing go down.
Do you want me to collect the rumble?
Oh,
rings
you
since
said
we
go
don't have
down.
it?
Yeah, the Hawk Tuah girl's going down.
Well, that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been posting them in our group chat so I can keep track of them.
Oh, you have grabbed them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, they
is the issue.
They said the Hawk Tuah girl said she wasn't going to vote for Donald Trump. The question was actually if she would go down on Donald Trump.
Yeah,
right.
And she said no.
Not
Which
for me.
I'm a 24-year-old bimbo. I'm not going down on an 80-year-old man either, unless I'm like, you know,
Unless
he's
you're in the
rich. Yeah.
I think that I don't blame her. I don't want to suck his dick either. I still want to vote for him.
I mean, that's fair.
That's the difference because Harry Sisson would suck Joe Biden's dick.
He would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now
So-
thanks to his little tweet, he's not going to be able to fillet the guy anymore. So that really sucks
If
for him.
Mohab becomes the nominee, how is Trump gonna grab Mohab by the pussy?
Who?
Yeah. Who
Who
you
are you
talking
calling
about?
Mohab?
Mohab.
Who?
Michelle Obama's has a.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, how does that
that's
work?
not as common as I don't know. Oh no, that's
It's
right.
true.
It's not as common as I think in the parlance like other stuff. But yeah, that's right. I forgot. Somebody mentioned that you looked it up, and yeah, that's right.
What's hex a Mohab? I looked it up. It's, oh yeah,
Like, Mohab. Yeah.
that's I can say that and not get
Big
struck.
Mike. Big Mike.
There's not a
Big Mike.
chance in hell Mike runs.
She's not going to run. She don't want to run. She's
Yeah,
Mike,
she's-
Mike, Mike.
She does not
She
want
wants
it.
her nice, cushy life that she's got right now, where
Someday.
she gets paid millions to do nothing.
Yeah, she told her
Exactly.
daughter stay away from it, stay far, far away from politics.
Yeah, she
There.
did not like being first lady.
They bought that nice mansion right
That-
there on the coast that they're
Yeah.
scared of climate change about.
Is that the one where their chef died?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just his body
Paddleboarding?
washed up somewhere. Or something.
And he was out with
Strong
some girl,
swimmer
but they
died
had,
in 1 foot of water.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can technically drown in
you
1 foot of water,
can, but
He died from ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah, here it is. It's it came from
he
the
saw the penis.
Let me see the penis. No, don't let me see the penis.
Okay, here I found it. The Hawk Tuah girl. Here's the thing: the Hawk Tuah girl interview where she said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go down." But here's the thing: Biden's wins is a Twitter account that keeps track of all of Biden's wins, and they considered this one of Biden's wins, and they literally said
I thought this was a
breaking.
parody account because there's times where it's like I was making fun. I was like, "This is not a win." And someone's like, "This is a parody account." I'm like, "Is it?"
It does not indicate that it's a parody account.
Yeah.
it kind of automatically is if it's naming his
Biden's
wins because there are no wins.
It said breaking the Hawk Tuah girl just absolutely demolished Donald Trump, saying it's a no-go for her. Retweet to make sure all America knows Gen Z is speaking out against Donald Trump and his radical agenda.
Okay, let's listen to this.
I have a game that I want to play with you guys.
That makes me
It's,
nervous.
no, it's not that scary, I promise. It's called Huck Tuah or Nah. And you tell me if you want to Huck Tuah on that thing or no.
Okay.
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 I think you might. Are you into like older guys?
For sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, my phone's not loading. All right, you ready? Come on. Oh, just a Huck?
I'll give him a hawk. I'll give him a hawk.
Okay, beautiful. There you go, Dave. You got a Huck. Donald Trump.
No, absolutely not.
No.
It's a no from me.
Okay, it's no. I have a game that I want to play with you guys.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, so
That's it.
she
Nothing about
basically
politics.
says that she's not going to slob his knob. Okay, that's their win. Great job.
Great job,
guess.
guys.
I guess.
Biden. That's put one up on the board for Biden. But would she suck Biden's dick?
I'm going with probably no.
No.
She's too old.
Then I guess take the tick off the board now.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
God, is that a parody account?
That one's not a situation where Biden's too old. That's a situation where she's too old for Biden.
I mean, the funny thing about it, this is like one of the issues that we currently live in, is that it just shows you how fucked we are because we can't tell parody from reality anymore. I mean, seriously, there's plenty of times where I tweet something and someone's like, "That's parody." It's like, really? Is it? Is it? It's 2024, man. This sounds like something that's that I love.
We live in a reality where South Park makes an absurd, episode about something, and it later becomes a reality.
Yeah,
that's the timeline that we're in right now. So I'm having a hard time deciphering whether or not it's actually fake or real.
I know it's really sad because like sometimes I just feel like a complete fucking dumbass for buying it, but I'm like, am I really a dumbass for this? Because current year is really that retarded.
Yeah. Well, you're seeing the downfall of our education system. You're seeing the downfall of and abuse of media. You're seeing all of the money that George Soros spent. You're now seeing it come to play in this idiocracy movie that we're now in. And China and Russia and all their stuff, they outspied us, they outworked us. And now we've got all these people in our government. That's all we export now is government. We don't even follow the election guidelines that we have for other countries for them to be recognized by us.
Yep. It's absurd.
I mean, the biggest problem that you're going to have and why Joe's not going to be pulled out of this and he is going to be the candidate is the Democrats would have to go back and fill out too many ballots.
Right.
Yeah.
Ones that have already been filled in.
They've already filled them out. They're already ready to go. So that's the thing. They'll have to do too many of those.
They did say that there would be complications.
That's exactly what they mean.
Wait. Complications for this coming election?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which makes no sense because you can't really make the ballot before you've had the conventions where the nominees are actually made anyway.
Well, it's not official yet either. They haven't had the 15th. They were going to do a virtual official nomination on the 15th of this month if they were putting Joe through, so it would be official.
Without the delegates.
Without the delegates, yes.
Because it's so democratic to not use your primary voters.
Yeah.
But they just started the training sessions because Clyburn admitted that on CNN, that he was over in Wisconsin, went to 3 cities and did 10 training sessions with his friends, allegedly. The
For counting?
Yes. Okay. He handles the older group, the AME group, for counting allegedly the Ruby crowd.
The blue hairs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Obama handles the younger crowd, allegedly.
Allegedly.
The mules.
The mules.
Yes.
Yeah. And by mules, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mules
all right.
for Sister Sarah.
Yes. 2 mules for
Sister Sarah.
For every pot.
Running, President Biden, I guess. I don't know. All right. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. I would be more scared of Mac v. SOG or SEAL Team 69 over SEAL Team 6. Part of every oath of enlistment, I will obey all lawful orders. Yeah, lawful being key one, isn't it? Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. The DOJ, not G, and DHS will not stand for this mis/disinformation. 51 intelligence agents will testify that any talk of Biden being off or not perfect in Russia disinformation threat to our democracy. Yeah. It's one of those things where the whole irony behind all this stuff, it's like just 3 days before the debate, everyone's like, Joe Biden's fit as a fiddle to be president. And now they're all like, yeah, we gotta reconsider that. It just shows you how fucked up and corrupt the media is, because if you pay attention, if you watch the news, if you watch what is posted on Twitter of Joe Biden that they're calling cheap fakes, is what is really going on in this country, is what is really going on with Joe Biden. And
this was just released by AP an hour ago. Biden at 81, sharp and focused, but sometimes confused and forgetful.
Oh, there we go. That's a new spin.
Sharp and focused between 10 and 4.
Yes. Yeah. I know Tox and I had this conversation earlier when we were meeting, and one thing that we brought up was the whole thing of was this planned? Was the whole thing with the debate planned so they could replace him because they know how awful he is?
It's the reason it was in June.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why they
There's
wanted
no
it
other
done.
reason to do it. This is the earliest debate we've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yet again, Trump shouldn't have done it. I don't care if he said, "Oh, I'll debate him anytime, anywhere," and all that stuff. You have the biggest pillow in the world you're going to fight in this guy. He just has to show up anywhere, even being handled, and it doesn't matter. He's not going to be able to campaign. He's not going to be able to fundraise. They're not going to be able to put anything out there but stuff that's a deep fake that can be scrutinized and exposed, right? So Trump never should have debated him, ever.
But would
Should've
this
left
have
it
come
alone.
out if he hadn't have debated him? Would we be doing?
They would have had to have done it some other way.
Yeah.
So it goes back to a lot of people love Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump. However, Donald Trump gets played like a fiddle multiple times. So I really don't. I mean, he's shutting up right now, but that's because Ivanka and others aren't around him. His Laura and Eric are telling him to shut the hell up, and he's starting to trust them a little bit. I still don't have a whole lot of hope for when he gets in the office. If he wins by some miracle and gets into office, the people that are leaving are going to just destroy everything behind them. In the DOJ, in education, in the CIA, in the FBI, all these people, because he's going to get rid of them all. Right? From a certain level in each of those agencies up, they're all gone. Chevron decision came out. They don't have the kind of power they used to have. Right.
Well,
so
one thing, Talks.
What is he going to be able to do?
I've been thinking about the entire time. Is I personally think it's far fetched, and like I said, this is an opinion. I think that they will do something like in Leave the World Behind if Trump actually gets elected. I think there will be a massive
Pull a black swan of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's possible. But if they just do the regular peaceful thing and turn over power or whatever, and all they have to do is just not give them passwords. And it could literally take him 2 years to get the codes to the nuclear football. And they'll just hamstring him through the whole thing and make him go through courts and all that stuff. And before you know it, 4 years has passed and we still have the same freaking swamp that we have now. And that swamp monster in D.C. is too big to kill. It is. And right now, that's the only thing propping up the economy in this country.
I think it's too big to kill by one president, right? That's kind of the issue. You need to have. This is a multi-generational fix. We've talked about this before many times. It took us a while to get here. It's going to take us a while to get out. That's the issue. There's no silver bullet. There's no, magic spell that will undo all this stuff overnight. It was a slow, gradual process to fuck this country, and it's going to be a slow, gradual process to unfuck this country.
And that's begun.
The issue. Yeah.
That's begun. The Supreme Court is doing that as we speak. It's not
Right.
just Trump.
No, it's not. It's making sure that right now that it's the reason why the Democrats are so desperate to get a hold of the court, because it's like the one institution they don't fucking own right now.
Yeah. But I mean, there's several 2A decisions where they could have just stomped it.
Yeah.
And they didn't. The Chevron decision was good, but it didn't go far enough. Right. So they go just as far as they can.
Well, not far enough. What do you mean? Because basically then they just undid it, right? I mean, what else could they have done?
Yeah, they reversed the decision.
They reversed that decision, but they didn't say that you shouldn't consider what the agency says. So what happened is they reversed that decision that upheld judges just deferring to them. Right. Well, if you don't think that's just going to be a rubber stamp, a judge is going to take that, look at it for 2 weeks, come back and say, boom, DOJ said this. That's what's going to happen. It all comes back to what the Supreme Court does. That the Supreme Court is the absolute last backstop of what's going on before we get to de Tocqueville's and what everybody else said. Jefferson. We're going to have to recycle our government. Right? So we're at that stage already. From there, all of these DAs and the judges that were put in are still going to do their activism. They're still going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
The Bruin decision on 2A was really clear. And the Seventh Circuit Court here in this area just ignored it. And Biden and his administration said to ignore it. There are judges that are saying the 2A doesn't apply here.
Yeah,
there are some judges saying the 1A doesn't apply here. And just as we had a horrible decision around First Amendment rights the week before.
I don't understand how a judge can say the Constitution does not apply in my courtroom. I don't get that.
Because that judge has not been... They stopped teaching.
Well, no, that has nothing to do with teaching. That has everything to do with activism.
That's going to do anything about it.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously the answer, right?
You have to. Yeah. You got to get out of there.
To your point on the Supreme Court's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. They aren't the legislatures.
Right.
They are not supposed to make the law. They said the law was decided wrong. Congress can then act. I mean, that's what I want the Supreme Court doing. I don't want them going, yeah, and we're reversing it, and you can't do this, because that's not their role. And I would have just as much problem with the Supreme Court making legislation from the bench as the leftists are pretending that they're doing currently.
Yeah, that was actually a point I was going to bring up as well, because that's the key thing. That is one of the biggest issues within our country right now, is the boundaries of each branch of the government, right? We have the president using the executive decision to try and make law, even though it's not law. And then, you have the activist judges doing the exact same thing, where they're basically making legislation from the bench, which is not what they're supposed to do.
Which Chevron stops that too, because they can't do the mandate thing anymore because Chevron is gone.
Yeah.
They can't use OSHA and they can't use EPA now.
Yeah.
No, that's what Tox is saying, is they can choose to. They're not mandated to. But that's where I think the court can't go that extra step and say that, we're also going to add this on top of this decision. Instead of just reversing it, we're going to also say you can't use these. That would be making legislation from the bench.
But there was another decision that was made the same day as the immunity. The first decision was on federal agencies, on when you can sue them, like you've been affected by something. The past law was 6 years from when it happened, but now it is, if something affects you, it's 6 years from when something affects you. So that helps in applying lawsuits against federal agencies.
Yeah, there's another thing too. Another huge issue is that in order to sue the government, you have to get the government's permission first. Yeah. That's pretty fucking absurd.
And getting standing against the government is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were some standing decisions before this happened.
Yep.
Several years ago that were just wrong. At going up to circuit courts and all those things from there. So was the Chevron decision a good decision? Yes. And as Pinochet points out, yes, the agencies cannot do anything past what Congress has empowered them to do. But Congress gave them carte blanche in many cases. So this is going to hold back some. But where are these cases going to be looked at? Anything that involves Homeland Security is going to be looked at. These Chevron cases are going to be looked at in D.C. in a FISA court. You've got to get rid of FISA. Well, to get rid of FISA, you're going to have a majority in Congress and a majority in the Senate. And the Republicans have shown no desire to do that.
Right. Well,
So,
it goes back to
yeah.
the uniparty argument, right? This is one of the issues that we're running into with our government is that you have the rhinos, that are basically in lockstep with the Democrats on certain issues, and yeah, it's gonna it's like I said earlier, this is a giant fucking hole that we've dug ourselves into. It's gonna take us a long time to climb out of it.
I really hope that the disappearance of Mitch McConnell from the Congress, or I mean the Senate, will actually start to reverse or maybe lighten up the rhino presence in the Republican Party. I do feel like we are starting to turn a corner in some ways when it comes to electing Republicans who want to go on the offensive, even groups who want to go on the offensive against the left. Just like the appearance of America First Legal has been an incredible turn of events for this country. I honest to God think though, I think it needs a little refining. For instance, MTG, I love where she's at in terms of wanting to fight so bad, but she has no tactical brilliance whatsoever.
No. And having McConnell get out of there and others like him, that is finally the boomers relinquishing the reins a little bit. And we may see what happens with the next generation, because we can't keep having 80-year-olds doing all this.
No, they should have stepped aside a long time.
Of course, we're saying that while we're running 2 80-year-olds for president, but
right. I mean that's really,
they've got to relinquish the reins at some point. The boomers have not been willing to let their power go.
Yeah,
in either party.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Tox.
Yeah, McConnell's not any better.
No,
from this standpoint, and neither was McCain and all that. And the issue comes down to thinking that these people are on our side. The Democrats have done a very good job over time, enslaving their base.
Mm-hmm.
So have the Republicans.
Yeah,
done a very good job enslaving their base, and I was a part of that. The whole thing going with into Iraq and all that stuff, where I was and what happened. Around there, I was pretty angry. And yeah, let's go over there and let's kick some ass and take names. That's what you want to do when somebody does that. But out of that came Patriot Act and the Pfizer courts, and which has been nothing but awful. And
it's been disastrous for this country.
Would have much rather, if I could go back in time and do anything, it would be to go back and fight against that happening.
Mm-hmm.
That specific thing, because it has had such a detrimental effect on personal freedoms in the last 25 years. So,
it was weaponized compassion.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it was.
It's almost as if Brendan wrote an article about it.
Wouldn't be surprised if he did. We got some Roll Ransket.
Give him some of that Hawk Tua meat, baby.
Hawk Tua meat. All right, Pinochet's helicopter tours. Why are you not screaming at your reps right now? Honestly, everyone in the audience too. There's no reason 81 million voters would need to drop out. Or powerful people knew the whole time. Can't be both.
There's no reason 81 votes need to drop out. Or powerful people knew the whole time. Yeah, right. He's right.
They knew. They've known since 2019 about him.
Yep. They've known, well, they've probably known longer than that. Did you see that one thing Thomas at his hearing, and he's talking about Joe Biden, and he's like, in some of these hearings, you just have to sit there and be attentive and look attentive to people that have no clue what they're talking about. And Biden's asking him, it says, you and I know, don't we? We know about this. There's a difference there and all this. And he goes, during this whole time, I had no clue what the hell he was talking about. And nobody's saying would. It was just amazing what Thomas was saying to those people.
Do you think that Thomas has a sick pleasure shooting down all this shit?
Well,
after the whole pubic hair microbe
he
thing?
fucking hates Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he did add something to the immunity, his opinion in. He inserted it. He didn't write the thing, but he did insert some things to help back to canon.
That's funny. Yeah.
On Jack Smith. But yeah, that was, I thought, oh, he put his 2 cents in worth. That was like, that's great.
Yeah, as he should. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. You cannot just skip Harris. Never mind the last 3.5 years of race baiting. You are just going to abandon the DEI hire. That won't go over well with all the new racists they created. Hold them to this. Well, and the funny thing about it is that if Biden steps down, I want Kamala to run because she's going to get destroyed. I mean, flat out.
Well, and besides her being a complete freaking moron,
yeah,
we already have the attack for her, going after her. It's literally, she's been the one who is this VP watching this the whole time and didn't do anything about the thing that you guys are all mad about now.
Mm-hmm.
She knew Biden on a daily basis is that bad.
Yeah.
And she still let it go. She was the only one with the power to do the 25th, really.
Well,
I mean, the cabinet's not going to do it.
Let's be honest. They all fucking know. Pelosi,
I know.
Schumer, all these people.
So do all the news anchors that just came out and said, no, we had no idea about any of this. This was a complete shock to us.
How many times do we have Kamala snickering on tape, though, with Biden making mistakes and her snickering? Tons of it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's funny how we probably said we had no idea. Never mind the fact that the president wanders off on stage, tries to shake hands with people that aren't there, constantly falls down, has to be helped down the debate stage by his wife because the man could barely walk. We had no fucking clue.
So
sad. And I think the whole media owes Robert Hurd an apology because
yes.
I mean, basically everything he said in his report about Biden is true. And since they didn't release the video of it and don't seem to want to release the video of that interview, I mean, they all called him a flat out liar, and now they've all supposedly just now seen how bad it is. I mean, remember every time he's been interviewed, they've had to cut up those interviews to ridiculous lengths of edits just to get a interview that looks somewhat coherent out of him. They all knew.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're Biden's doing a scripted interview that's going to be dropped on Friday, right?
With Stephanopoulos?
Yeah. I don't know if it's Stephanopoulos, but
it is Stephanopoulos.
Okay.
It's always Stephanopoulos.
Of course, because he worked with Joe.
Clinton campaign manager.
Yeah. Yep. Well, didn't he also work under Obama as well?
Clinton.
Yeah, actually,
he was.
He was actually one of the primary narrative generators for the Obama administration. He worked closely with Media Matters to disseminate and come up with, these little tidbits for Obama to go with.
He's a piece of work.
He is one of the worst.
But yeah, it's going to be funny because it's one of those things that this interview needs to be live because the reason why they're doing it recorded and they're dropping it is so they can heavily edit it to make him look competent.
Yeah,
I guess.
Unless it's him stepping down.
Yeah, unless it's him stepping down. I don't know. We'll see. That should be interesting. Pinochet's helicopter. No. Hi, my name is Joe Biden. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Do the American people think that anything will be different under Mohap, Whitmer, Newsom, Harris? Nothing changes. Whoever is there, the policy is dictated by Barrio and the globalist.
Barry O.
Is it Barry?
Barack
Okay.
Obama.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize
Barry
that was
Obama.
Didn't realize that was a nickname. I never heard that before.
I think he just had to cut letters in a place to make it all fit in one super.
Okay.
And that was an easy place to change it out a little bit.
All right,
guys, I got to head out.
True.
I apologize.
That's right. It is that time, isn't it, for you?
Yeah, sadly. So got to hit the old dusty trail. Thanks for having me on again, guys. I'm sorry I had to take off early. But check me out on Brandon Morse's A Brand Risk right here on Rumble. On Friday, we are doing our USVF, User Submitted Video Friday, where chat submits videos to the Discord, and then we watch them together. It's just super, super, super fun show. If it sucks, it's usually chat's fault because they created the show. So cool. Weight off my shoulders. Yeah, and follow me at the Brendan Morse on X, and check my writing out at Red State. I'm writing there all the time. So yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Later, Morse.
And we'll just
Not Brendan.
kick him out. Good night, Brandon. You take care, sir.
You too.
And here's the rest of us. Let's see. Pinochet's helicopter tours for 5. Hang on, I think I already got that one. Let me scroll down. Mohab. Okay, there we go. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Also, I would like to say, here in the U.S., there is no reason we can't be globalist net zero by 2026. The American people could do it and set the example for the globe. Yeah. I agree with that. I fully support that, Pinochet. 100%.
Did you get the very first super chat from Just a Tip for $20?
Oh shit! No, I didn't. Thank you for pointing that out. Let me.
IR Comics Division. IR Good YouTuber.
It's all the way back at the beginning.
My guy who helps me run the show, also known as a producer, that showed up 15 minutes late after we started.
All right.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
Showing up to your show or helping the wife get her audio right for her show. Which one do I live with?
I think the answer is you show up to my show.
Oh, I see. I see. Only because you wanted to come in here and beat me.
Yes.
It's good for ratings.
It absolutely is good for ratings. Yes. Just a tip. Sorry. For just tip 59. Sorry about that. For $20 says, when will he leave office? When he's told to, in my opinion.
And I think that's what's happening.
Yep.
I think he's been threatened with the 25th. Either you step down or we take you out.
Yes.
We'll see
or
what
we
happens
release
Monday.
the tapes. Or they've threatened him with the tapes from her.
This is the tapes of Joe Biden. Not Joe Biden. Ashley Biden.
Mm-hmm. No, the interview with her, with Robert Hurd.
Oh, yeah, the her tapes. Where he did all that stuff and he was just completely incoherent. Well, I mean, it's not him that they're going to threaten. It's Jill. Right.
Well, yeah, Jill's the only one who's cognizant. Knows what's going on. Yeah, probably. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. Talks. What he's going to do? What is he going to do? Arrest every federal employee. You make it sound like the Democrats are the only ones who can be
who can use indefinite.
Okay, use indefinite detention under NDAA. Let's see. Rendition the DOJ to Guantanamo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he and I talked about that in chat. And yes, Republicans have done the same things that Democrats have done. That's why it's not a left and right issue. It's an authoritarian issue.
Right.
It's progressivism. People who believe they know better than you. It takes a lot of discipline for leaders to let people make their own mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what needs to happen. You know, and they don't. They think they know better, so you've got the FDA telling us what to eat.
That's part of that anti-statism thing that's been going on forever, is the idea that you're not allowed to, people aren't allowed to make their own mistakes. I mean, it's like the whole thing with Social Security when the Republicans say, give it to the people, let them invest. And they're like, well, what happens if they lose the money? And it's like, well, that's their responsibility.
Right.
Or what if they don't save the money? It's like, again, that is the responsibility of that individual. It's unfortunate people make bad decisions in life, but
there's a reason why stories like the tortoise and the hare and the grasshopper and the frog, you know, there's a reason why all of those stories are out there and why they told them to us.
Yeah.
We're younger and growing up, because you had to learn that life sucked. And if you didn't take care of yourself, if you didn't take care of your family unit, you were going to be, you know, in deep trouble.
Yeah.
So they stopped teaching that stuff because scarcity kind of left a little bit. And now the cats are running in here because people are shooting off fireworks.
Well, part of the problem with what's been going on is one party doesn't seem to believe in the mutually assured destruction right now. The Dems are doing everything that they can get away with. So, yeah, I kind of agree with Pinochet. They have to be punished somehow. You can't let it just go. You can't keep doing what we've done.
Well, I mean, and I know that, you know, this is something that we've talked about. And I kind of made a glib comment because apparently Neil Gaiman has accusations against him that he sexually harassed, you know, 2 women. And I retweeted it, said, okay, time to cancel him. Yeah, and like I said, being glib. and someone's like, well, you know, blah blah blah. I was like, I agree, but these are the rules now.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the issue that we run into right now with the Republicans, is that these are the rules. Okay. I get you want to be above it all. I respect that to a degree, but these are the rules now. And if you want to win, you have to play by their fucking rules. So it's the reason why the Republicans need to start using lawfare as well, because that's what they're doing. And of course, they're going to cry, well, they're doing it to their political opposition. It's like, well, no fucking shit. That's what you guys have been doing. How about we all agree to stop then, right? That's the key thing. In order for this to stop, it has to be weaponized against them as well, to the point where they're like, okay, we concede. Okay, I surrender. Let's stop doing this. Let's get back to something else. They won't, though, because all they'll do is just find another way of ramping up, another tactic, something different, blah, 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 blah. Rinse and repeat.
Right. Yeah, just like the one time that we've done it, it's gone incredibly well for us. Mm-hmm. When Harry Reid got rid of the filibuster for judicial nominees, we told him that was a stupid thing to do. We're going to be back in power at some point. Mm-hmm. And when we got in power, we got more justices on because they couldn't filibuster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a slippery slope to go down on that, but that's was also foreseen by the founding fathers that we would do this. Mm-hmm. The founding fathers did not have this all-encompassing faith in humanity.
No, they weren't. They understood humanity rather well.
Yeah, they knew that humanity was going to screw things up. So they put a system of government was in place that it could reset itself if necessary. And there were certain things in that. Again, it comes down to the will of the people to not be subjugated. That's the point. And we've become so prosperous. And most of the world being destroyed after World War II helped that a lot. I mean, when there wasn't any competition, you kind of get fat cat off of all that stuff. So, and here we are. Basically, we're at Wall-E level people not giving a shit about this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
But if we had dealt with the FISA abuses, that's what started on the Donald Trump stuff, was the Mueller team. Mm-hmm. And the FISA abuse and Obama spying on Trump, all that stuff. Devin Nunes had said back at the end of last year, if they pursue the Biden thing, but not just Biden stuff, and went ahead with the FISA abuses and encompass all that together to show all of it was going on, you could actually do a reset on that, what Obama set up with the weaponization of our intelligence community.
And you know who you start with? Every single one of the people that signed that thing about Hunter's laptop.
Yep.
Exactly.
Prosecute them all, because
saying it was
had
fake?
that laptop. The ones that all signed from the intelligence agency saying that it was a fake, that it was Russian disinformation. Every single one of them. The FBI had it for well over a year before that leaked.
Yeah.
They all knew what it was. They had tested it and confirmed it was, and that's come out in the Hunter court case. When they used it as state's evidence and confirmed that they knew it was Hunter's.
Yes.
That means they confirmed it like immediately. And then lied a year
that's
later.
one thing I was going to say is, like, when the FBI lies, what laws are they breaking because they need to be held accountable?
Well, I mean, it's election interference. They like using that one for everything.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. Election interference.
Use their stupid things the same way they are.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
If that's all you can get them on is election interference, it's just like going after Al Capone for tax evasion.
Yep.
Either way, you sink them.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the Republicans have just gotten used to playing their part of this game. So this is the Democrats' game, and then the Republicans' game is playing the opposite of that. But neither one of them actually want anything to happen because they're making too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's the Republicans'
They're making,
problem.
Go on.
Yeah, and Democrats want the power. So, yeah, you've got both going on.
Power and money, right? Mm-hmm. So they had a pretty good symbiotic relationship for a long time. The Republicans are going to milk this for as much as they can. McConnell, even the guy out of Ohio, I had a lot of hope for him, and he's just become a blowhard. Whatever his name is, Jim
The governor?
something. No, the congressman out of Ohio.
Well, Senate is J.D. Vance is one of them. Jim Jordan?
Jim Jordan. Yeah,
Okay.
he's just become a giant blowhard that doesn't do anything. So, the only real person that does anything in Congress for us as the people is Thomas Massey. That's it.
Massey and there's the other guy. Gates, yeah. Matt Gates. Yep.
Rand
Matt
Paul
Gates.
too.
And Rand Paul's in the Senate. I'm talking about Congress.
Congress,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And so even when they're in there, Gates is running defense for Trump. Massey's just trying to get the right stuff done for the people. And we used to have a bunch more people like that in Congress. We don't anymore. And that's when, it's time to press the reset button at this point. And unfortunately, that's going to hurt really, really bad because government is a self-perpetuating animal at this point.
I'm going to bring up term limits. Do you think that's a solution, or do you think that's not a solution?
No,
because you
of the
basically
bureaucracy.
Yeah, you have term limits now. Marjorie Taylor Greene has done some good stuff, some bad stuff. One of the things is bringing out that it's the handlers and the staff that do everything, and those are appointed, and they're there. They are 100% administrative state. Your representative doesn't do anything. And Thomas Massey had brought out whatever that group was that is the
AFAC or AFAC.
AFAC or whoever, AFLAC, whoever they are. That, I need my AFAC guy or this when you talk about how to do these things. It's a lobbyist making their policy. That's because they have so much going on. You have so much going into these bills. You can't have one person represent you and your interests anymore because they've made it so complicated.
Well,
the
I mean,
central government wasn't supposed to be that way.
That's one. Another one too is the fact that because like in all their spare time they're basically campaigning. It's like they can't fucking write laws anymore, and that's like when not campaigning but fundraising.
They're fundraising
and campaigning. Both those things are huge issues when it comes to making laws, and it's the reason why a lot of these laws end up getting written by lobbyists, PACs or whatever. I mean, God.
I would get rid of the first thing I would, if you want to
hang on. What law did Pelosi say in order for us to know what's in it? We have to pass it. Was that Obamacare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still screwing us over.
Thousands of pages that they didn't read any of it.
Yep. It's still screwing us over. Everyone out there that has a insurance plan that has a $6,000 to $10,000 deductible, that's Obamacare. That is what Obamacare did. It was written by the insurance companies.
Yes, it was.
Who have paid Obama a ton of money.
Yeah.
For that, and the others around there. And so you're having to pay all this stuff out of pocket that you didn't used to before because the insurance companies went, we don't want to pay for this. And the bad debt, people that don't pay, so that's all going to the providers. And that's why your health care is getting worse.
But Congress isn't affected by that. They didn't have to take that plan. They should take the plans they pass.
Congress, if you're a certain area, get a level in the military, all the people that are making those decisions, they aren't affected by it. So you get rid of all of the special plans and you make lobbying illegal everywhere.
Yeah.
That's your first step.
That is like the first thing that they need to do is get rid of lobbying, get rid of lobbyists. That's a huge thing. Yeah, because it kills the money.
And stock trading. No stock trading.
Yeah, stock trading is another one. Nancy Pelosi.
You got to completely divest yourself. Right.
Yeah.
You have to make it painful to serve. It has to be a will. I am going to do this for 2 to 4 years and then I'm out.
Well, I mean, the really funny thing about it is that there was a movie called Distinguished Gentleman. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's pretty funny, but it's also pretty on point too for basically the corruption of, of our system of Congress. Eddie Murphy movie. If you haven't seen it, fucking great.
I've seen it. It's pretty funny.
Guy runs on name recognition, basically to scam. Because like the whole joke is that he's a con artist. He's like, what's the greatest scam? Congress. And so he gets elected on name recognition. and to basically make money. And the funny thing about it is he kind of meets people and finds these things that are happening that are really awful, and has a bit of a change of heart and starts actually doing stuff for the people instead. But yeah, that whole thing, it I don't know. Every time we talk about government and all this shit and it being corrupt, I always think of that movie.
Yeah, and what's the Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
On how Congress actually functions.
Yeah. Pinochet set up the tools for $5. Says Dems own slaves, not Republicans. Dems, I guess, hired KKK for the 1924 DNC, not Republicans. Dems wouldn't pass the 1964 CRA, or so Republicans did. Dems made some go full Jew hunters for Palestine or black supremacists. Yeah, that shit. When my Jewish wife discovered the black Hebrew Israelites, like I say, it was a bit of a wake up call, but she was like I say, weirded out. She's like, "Oh my God, that's so crazy." It's like, yeah, I'm well aware of it. It's like, it's a lot of anti-Semitism on the left.
Oh yeah. Yep.
They were all over the place during the whole thing that Nick Sandman, the black Israelites were the ones that were there.
Yep, they were. Yes, indeed.
This is for. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. We were willing to cede power to politicians if they just didn't screw with us as much, but they got greedy. Check out "Plot Against the President" documentary by Amanda Milius, daughter of Amanda Milius, daughter of John Milius.
Is that the John Milius? I guess I'll have to look him up. I forgot.
Name's very familiar.
The name is familiar. I totally
producer, director in Hollywood.
Oh, that guy. Okay, right.
I mean, older one. Older. I don't know if he's still living or not, but he.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Made Apocalypse Now was him, right? The screenwriter for that. And some of the Dirty Harry movies.
Yeah, I knew he
was
was
them
old.
up now. Conan, Red Dawn.
Oh, he was a producer for Conan. Okay, yeah,
well,
I know
been
exactly
a screenwriter,
who he
a
is.
director, and a producer.
Okay.
Watch this.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's hilarious.
I saw that. Hawk to a spit on that thing.
I know.
That is kind of ingenious to do that.
Did you see where she posted it and said, "Y'all, who did this?"
You did, honey. And I say honey loosely.
Yeah.
That was bad.
So, let's see here.
Yeah, that meme has gotten a bit old real quick, though.
Yeah,
It's everywhere.
that's 15 minutes of fame defined.
Yeah,
You see
really.
what you see what Quartering posted to her on Twitter? Don't try to start a YouTube page. Don't try to start a Rumble. Don't try to do any of that. Just go straight to OnlyFans. You're not going to make it on YouTube with that being the only thing that you're known for.
Wow.
Get your millions and get out.
She lost her job. Y'all know that, right?
No.
She's
I didn't hear about that.
She's a school teacher.
Yeah.
No shit.
Okay.
But that wasn't on school stuff or school time. It was in her private
Doesn't
life.
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so a friend of mine who's an actress, there are certain roles she could not take, specifically when it involves nudity, because she's a school teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, up till recently, they've been very strict about that kind of stuff. Very recently, up to the point where we started having the they-thems take over as teachers. I don't think they can do nudity still. Maybe they've listened to that. I don't know. No, wait a minute. I think, wasn't there like a teacher who was on OnlyFans?
There's lots of them that have been on OnlyFans and been getting fired.
Well,
because
Rachel Salazar, whoever that chick that was black or what, Rachel Dolan's,
Rachel Dolezal.
She was a teacher, and then somebody showed her OnlyFans and said it was her and put all this stuff and things from there, and then she got fired.
Yeah,
we're being told that was a satire site that posted the story about her being a teacher.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
maybe we got had again. We were
Yeah.
just talking about that earlier too.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, the fact that parody and reality is basically the same fucking thing.
I wanted to pull out the Zelensky Bugatti thing that was floating around, but Bugatti came out and said, nope, not us. We did not sell a $4 million Bugatti to Zelensky.
There's been a mansion. There's been all these things that they've done that same exact hoax with.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you see Zelensky's wife bought something, chances are it's fake news.
It's fake.
So she didn't get a breast job in Paris?
Well, she might have gotten that. That's in the tens of thousands of dollars, not the $350 million range.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about a woman who's hawk too got her some money. That's right there.
Talk about a guy who is absolutely useless, got propped up by our own government to be there.
Well, I mean, the one thing I think is funny is the fact that wasn't he in a TV show where he was like a teacher or something like that gets elected as the president of Ukraine, and then it actually happens.
That's the story that I've heard. I don't know. Yeah. I've never been able to confirm it, but we all saw him play the piano with his dick, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the Russians are about to lose at any time.
That's right. Any day now.
Any day now.
Any day now.
They'll lose it on day one of Trump's presidency.
Just like, Kathleen Kennedy being fired any day now.
Any day now. That's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, part 3 came out today. Or other Thursday night thing, sorry.
Oh, you talking about the
yeah.
James O'Keefe's tapes?
Yeah.
I saw it. I haven't had an opportunity to watch it yet.
Me neither.
I was too busy prepping for the show.
I know. I was like, get off topic.
No,
How
it's
does
fine.
Masturbation become purpose for the show?
What?
Huh?
Okay.
Never go into the show with a loaded gun.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, you bring that up, and we're joking about where you are when you didn't show up. I was like, hey, he's probably jerking off.
You just had to wait until you could hear you on stage.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's just material.
It's material. I wouldn't say it's good material, but it's material. Yeah. I know. Okay. I know your default is to go to Hakeem Jeffries talks, but outside of that, Hakeem Jeffries thing aside, the whole thing with Joe Biden stepping down, how do you guys think that's all going to play out?
I think they're going to be making a big deal about the first black woman president and carry that all the way through the 4 months. And that's all we'll hear.
But she's not really black.
She's black enough to have been black and owned slaves. Her family did.
Well, the same thing at the same time. It's like the whole thing with Obama being biracial, right? You know, they didn't say he was biracial. The first biracial president, they called him the first black president.
Well, second. Bill Clinton was the first.
Oh, that's right. But I think they're getting rid of Clinton and replacing Clinton with Trump now.
Yeah. The first Republican black president, Donald Trump.
More of a grabber. Yep.
What was that?
He is more of a grabber than Clinton, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's a grabber, but Clinton's a rapist.
So there you go. Allegedly.
For me, I still think it's Hillary. I think they let the way they get it around.
Hillary's the rapist, thing, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
No.
Yes.
The way they get around the whole Kamala thing is they make her the first black president, and then they run Hillary. That way they gave her something.
Yeah, but she's polling like at 3 cents.
Yep.
Hillary is?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. That poll was like, oh my God.
Well, nobody fucking wants her. Not even the Democrats. That's the funny thing about it. A lot of your default feminists, it's like they don't understand. It's like most Democrats, with the exception of we have to have a female president first and now, don't understand that everybody else doesn't fucking want her. They fucking despise her.
Well, that's the one thing that she has said that is right. Women don't like other women.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that she blames it all on white women not voting for her. And yeah, women don't like women. We all know that.
Yeah.
Yep. Competition.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We're going to go and end things over on the YouTube side, so you can stay over here on Rumble if you so desire. Or if you're watching on the YouTube side, you can come and venture over to the Green Machine. Come hang out with us there. You know where the button's at. Also, hello, AJ Speaks. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. Hope you're doing well. And good night, everybody on YouTube. Come and find us on the Green Machine. All right.